Grew up going to Episcopal services at Christmas and Easter. Never had very much meaning to me, but in college, I had just come out of one of the hardest seasons of my life and found myself standing in line at the College of Charleston and bumping into a guy that I knew from a ministry on campus at the College of Charleston. And that gentleman found out that I'd had a really hard summer and took the time to invite me to coffee. And that night, he presented God in such a way that God was interested in the details of my life and that he was willing to sit on the throne of my life and to bring order to my life. And so that night, August 29th, 2000, I accepted Christ. Finally moved out to James Island later that year and lived in an apartment with a guy that was also a Christian and attended Campus Crusade and a few other ministries in the area. And he kind of heard me talking about my church experience, and one day he said, "Did you really need to try Seacoast?" And I said, yeah. I was trying to kind of pull things together anyway, so I said, well, I'll try that. And my first visit, I just knew. I was comfortable. I was at home. And I knew that I could experience God in that environment. And from then on, Seacoast has just been my church home. And so, 21 years later, here I am, and can't believe that I get to be part of this church in the way that I do. The Johns Island campus is really special because it's such a blending of environments and a blending of areas. We have 6 islands that we serve, and those 6 islands are incredibly diverse. And we really feel like this campus out here on the islands is intended to be a bridge. It's intended to be a bridge between people groups, but I also believe it's intended to be a bridge between people that are far from God and people stepping into and knowing the God that created them and that has plans and a purpose for their life. That makes our campus really unique, and it gives it such a beautiful feel, because the reality is that uniformity is not unity, but bringing people that are different from different backgrounds together to worship for the singular purpose of glorifying God. That's what it's about. So Kids Coast is our ministry for birth through 5th grade. Our team that serves back there always makes a point to say that it is not childcare, it is kids ministry. And so we really believe that those little ears are listening and watching and eager to discover the plans and the purposes that God has for their life. Custom is our student ministry team that takes place from 6th through 12th grade. I spent 10 years in student ministry myself, and I recognize the value and the necessity of helping impact their lives with the gospel before they get into college and before they're completely out on their own. We really look at student ministry as being a critical window to present God's truth to them so that they can grab onto it. I'd love to invite you to attend the Johns Island campus, because just like I learned all those years ago, is that God cared about the details of my life, and I believe God cares about the details of your life. I believe that Seacoast still, just like it was 21 years ago, is still a place where you can come experience the truth of God and His love, His grace, His forgiveness, and integrate that in a safe environment that's welcoming and that can really begin to feel like home for you as you grow in your relationship with God and make an impact in your community, in your world, for all that God wants to do in and through you.